One thing I find annoying at times is creating new areas a bit away from the city and having the electricity issue. So we're playing vanilla, we don't have we don't have electricity running through the roads, and sometimes I just don't want to drag these power lines across. Obviously that works, but sometimes it's not the visual I'm going for or I want to have. If you have Natural Disasters DLC and go to Emergency Services and then go to the Disaster Services, we can find a small little earthquake sensor. Now, the cool part is, this is a building, and this building will spread the power. Look at the blue power bubble. It's got spread without the need for any power lines, simply by using this earthquake sensor. Now, this obviously also is kind of, I don't know. But the good news is, look at that. We can hide it in plain sight, sort of. And it's gone. It's gone. It's transmitting the power. It blends into your city. Really good for when you don't want to use power lines like me sometimes. So here we are in City Skylines in our map, and we want to create an artificial lake. That can be a bit tricky. First of all, we want to go to a certain depth here. Then let's go deeper, grab the level terrain. All we got to do here is right click to set the height and then left click to drag it out. If you have the Natural Disasters DLC, you will have the fresh water outlet, and that means we can create our lake. And it should, as soon as we unpause the game, it will work. It will create some fresh water coming out. There we go. And this will fill up pretty fast. Now, the problem is it will keep running, it will keep filling up, it will flood your city at some point. So what do? Okay, we go and we might think we'll get a pumping station and we'll pump out the unnecessary water so it doesn't overflow. But here's the thing. The pumping station is so good that it doesn't let the freshwater outlet fill up the lake. See how the water is gone already? Nope, doesn't work. So we need to turn that off. However, that will mean that this will overflow very soon, flooding our entire city. Now here's a little trick that we can use, and I first saw Juka Boa doing this, so massive shoutouts to you, my friend. Here what we can do is, if we level the terrain ever so gently, so get that slope going. Yeah, so just so it's like below the part where you want your river or your lake to be. Now connect this road to your area. And if you have the Natural Disasters DLC, you will also have the pumping service. Now, we want this pumping service to be placed very near to our lake, because what we're going to do now is we're going to grab one of those earthquake sensors again and place that here. As soon as the water gets high enough, this will show as flooded. Now, what the pumping service does, as soon as there's flooding in a building, it will send out a truck. We'll see that in just a moment. There we go. It says flooded. There is the truck. I'm leaving it on 3-speed, and it sucks up the water. So the truck is filling its water tank with the water. And the amazing part is you can just leave it like this. This is the height that your lake will have now, the water height. And what we can do now to get rid of that outlet a bit is just to grab some rock formations, maybe some shrubbery and some trees, and just hide that bad boy as best as you can. And since our pumping service is on the move all the time, it's very close to the lake here. We now have created our own lake. As soon as it starts to overflow, this part here, the pumping service will send a vehicle and it will drain the water to that height that is below this part right here. So you can play around with different things. You don't need to balance like, oh, we need 2 water outflows and 1 water pump, or we need 2 pumps and 4 water outflows to have this balance, because it never really works. All right, we want to make money. We want to make lots and lots of money in City Skylines. One thing that we can do is create what's known as the scam park. We'll take out a main arterial point for citizens to walk between a train station and a metro station that leads into the city, and we will create a park area. So we've created this here where the citizens have no way to go but through this park. And if we go to park area info, we'll just raise up the price as much as we can. And once a train comes in, which is now, hopefully they'll all walk through the park and pay the price. It seems pretty good. That's how you can scam some money out of your citizens. Look at that income and the expense. If you put this in a couple of areas in your city, that generates a lot of money for you. As soon as you get a bunch of citizens spawning in from the train, you can watch your income rise. It's because they all have to pay to go through the park. That is really amazing. The number jumps up and down, of course, depending on how many people visit this. But if you have it like here, where there's outside train connections and trains stop here, and the citizens come into your city via this way, and they will all use the park. They will all use the park and generate you a ton of income over time, specifically if you add these scam parks, what they're called, in various areas of your city. What I find a little bit annoying about pedestrian areas, just one little thing, is that they actually need these service points to actually function. So whenever we want to create a new pedestrian area, make this nice and simple, we'll just draw our roads out here and go to the pedestrian area. Now here are the service points, but whenever we don't place them and we want to place something here, any type of building, it will immediately show us not in pedestrian area. Well, now let's create a pedestrian district, because that is what this place needs. So there we go. We placed a pedestrian area. What is this now? Another icon. No garbage service points. So this is kind of annoying. So even if you want just a smidgen of a small pedestrian area, you would need to place a service point for the pedestrian area. And look at this building. I mean, of course, you can fit it onto a road. But if you just want a small pedestrian area, well, now the icon is gone. But if you want just a small pedestrian area, you would need to place this building here as well. And sometimes that's just not the look you're going for. So what we can do now, demolish that, take out this area. Now it has no pedestrian area. It doesn't have any service points. What we can do, what I find is really cool, we have an existing pedestrian area right here. Let's just grab this, add it over. Now we can delete this middle segment. So we have just expanded the already existing pedestrian area. And if we check out this view, it will show as one district. And the service point from this area will service the smaller area as well. So there's no icons operating normally. We can just create our little pedestrian area, and we can do this trick where we can do this infinitely. We want another area over here? Not a problem. Do that, delete the middle segment, and now we have 3 little pedestrian areas. You want one over here? Not a problem. And now we got 4. So we can drag these districts across the entire map. Doesn't really matter. I find that really amazing because we don't need to place, in the example of pedestrian areas, a service point in each and every one. We can create little pockets of pedestrian areas. I find that really cool. I love to use this little hack in my cities. If you have the After Dark DLC, you also have access to the taxis and the taxi stands. And taxis themselves don't really don't alleviate a lot of pressure off of your roads, but they come with this taxi stand, which I simply love to use as stands for the bus stops, as bus stop shelters. This is a taxi stand, but it acts as a shelter for the bus stop. I just love to make it look like it is a bus shelter where the citizens can wait. So we can't really place quay walls on dry land. Let's say we want a bit of a sunken road in here. The game will not let us because we have no shoreline. Every quay wall needs a shoreline required. Now, there's a little bit of a trick we can do. We can temporarily flood the area, tricking the game into thinking there is a shoreline. So if you have the Natural Disasters DLC, you also have the freshwater outlet, and we'll use that to our advantage. Alright, so we've got everything set up. I have sunken the ground a tad bit and added the road again. Now hit play. We got the water outlets connected with power and piping. Not a problem, no worries, your city will be fine. The water's starting to flow, and already hit pause. Then you just grab your quay walls. I like to turn off snapping so it works a bit better, and just place your quay walls here. There we go. And now see if we can sort of line that up together. I believe this seems pretty good. Go a bit further. We can pause the game if you're a bit afraid. No, not to worry, not to worry. And we got to work with what we can get here. So we just saw it worked. Okay, so we can't go too close to the road. Need to be a bit finicky. Oh, there it was again. Right there. So we can't be too picky. We can be lucky that it works to get it lined up, sort of. And now just take out these water outlets. Put it on 3-speed. No worries. It says flooded, but the water will recede. Perhaps you can sneak in one of the pumps in here. Oh, we can. And it will just suck out the water. It's operating at reduced rate, but not a problem. Look at that. Look at the water. There we go. There we go. Take that out, and we got it. And that's how you can create your own little barrier here. You got your sunken in road, and you got the quay walls on land. I really love this hack. I tend to use it in my cities when I'm going full vanilla, so this can be done on console as well if you have the Natural Disasters DLC for the fresh water outlet right here. And also, once again, I want to give a quick but huge shout outs to my YouTube members and patron supporters. We have Serhi, Astro, V1 Rotate V2, Sean Mzamfa, and Jukaboa. Thank you so much for the support, gang. I really appreciate it. Also, for everyone out there that enjoys interacting on Discord, I just finished setting up a brand new Discord server. Everything regarding City Skylines, the link is in the description below.